nothing but a hound dog. You're crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Crying all the time. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. Well, they said you...
About a year ago, they announced Indiana Jones 5 will be happening, and it's no doubt probably my most anticipated film of all time. If you didn't already know, Raiders of the Lost Ark is the movie that made me want to make movies. I really love every entry in the original Indiana Jones trilogy, not only because of how fun they were, but also because of how intelligent they were. I think most people can agree that Raiders of the Lost Ark is a masterpiece in every sense of the word. So much so that it
belongs in a museum!
Everything from the story, the tone, the characters, the cinematography, the set design, everything about Raiders of the Lost Ark, I think, is perfect. When it comes to the second Indiana Jones movie, which is actually a prequel to the first Indiana Jones movie, The Temple of Doom, I think, while it's darker, it's still pretty great. I think that Temple of Doom is a much better movie than what people make it up to be. I think that it's still a good movie. It's not as good as the other two, but it's still a good movie. And I think it's kind of underrated in that sense. The Last Crusade is one of the best and most entertaining adventure films of all time. The action and locations were both great in the film, as well as the story, score, which I think the score in that movie is probably my favorite score of all time. Just everything else is great when it comes to this movie. See, those are the gems, but then came along Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I think that some of its biggest problems is its character development, its dialogue, which is really horrendous at times, and the overall story is just not as good as the other Indiana Jones movies. I think that Shia LaBeouf is pretty annoying in the movie, but I don't think he's the main problem of the movie. I think that there's a lot of overacting, from Shia LaBeouf, but also from John Hurt. I think that a word that can really describe Kingdom of the Crystal Skull the greatest is weak. I don't think that the alien, I mean, beings from another dimension. Ooh, I almost got that one wrong. I don't think that that plot really kind of goes along with the other Indiana Jones movies. So with Indiana Jones 5 coming around the corner, I want to give it some guidelines in a way. Or here's a better way of saying it. I mean, you read the title, so... I've separated it into the technical level and also the story-based. This is boring. I'll just say how I would make it. Number one is that I would shoot it on film. All of the Indiana Jones movies so far have been shot on film. Recently, I've noticed that a lot of films have been shot digitally, like Marvel films, pretty much every other movie though too. Because it's a lot cheaper to shoot like that. It costs a lot less to film. You can get a lot more takes done. It's overall a lot easier of a process. The thing is though, every single Indiana Jones movie so far has been shot on film. So why break the streak? And the people behind Indiana Jones 5 definitely have the budget to do this. I really don't want them to shoot it digitally because it really takes away from the grit that the other Indiana Jones films have when it comes to how they are shot. I think that it should be shot on film because it really gives it an old-timiness, if that makes sense. Number 2, bring back Sala. Now, if you don't know who Sala is, it's basically Indiana Jones's friend that was from Cairo that helped him find the Ark and also helped him out in The Last Crusade. Now, this is going to be a really short point because I can just make it simple here. Sala is one of my favorite characters in the Indiana Jones films, and he's also a lot of other people's favorite character. So if you want more energy and more likability to the film, then bring back Sala. Short and simple. Number 3, make the artifact biblical. In both Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade, the artifact that Indiana Jones has to find is based on something from the Bible, whether it be the Ark of the Covenant or the Holy Grail, which is known as the cup that Jesus drank from during the Last Supper. The artifacts are both biblical. They both come from a story in the Bible. So I think that if Indiana Jones 5 is going to have an important artifact, which it should, then the artifact should be from the Bible. It would give the adventure authenticity, which is important when it comes to an Indiana Jones film. The last point I want to make is number 4, make this the last Indiana Jones film. As big of a fan I am of the series, I don't want it to become overkill. Much like what they're doing with Star Wars. I mean, for Star Wars, we have 2 trilogies, so that's already 6 movies. A live-action TV show, a cartoon TV show, a ton of anthology movies, and of course, Episode 9. That's a ton of movies and Star Wars content, to the point where it becomes overkill. I don't want that to happen to Indiana Jones. So all I want to say here is make Indiana Jones 5 the last Indiana Jones film. I really don't want them to overdo it. I just want them to make a really good movie here and just end it all. We've gotten some really, really great movies that will be remembered for years and years and years and beyond that. These movies are groundbreaking, and I don't want them to become overkill. to the point where in 20 years we're still getting Indiana Jones movies. So that's really all I wanted to say with that. In fact, that's basically all I wanted to say with the video. Indiana Jones 5 is already looking really promising, with Harrison Ford set to star as Indiana Jones again, and Spielberg is coming back to direct. There's no Shia LaBeouf, no George Lucas, and I'm not against George Lucas, I just think that he made a mistake with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. But regardless, Indiana Jones 5 is really looking bright. So I'm definitely really hyped for Indiana Jones 5, and I really hope they listen to this video and make Indiana Jones 5 the best movie it could possibly be. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on LETTERBOXD or LETTERBOXD and Instagram, both at julianfilmmaker, and I'll see you in the next video.